Well, it's press review, and this morning, of course, we'll be looking at stories making the headlines in our national dailies. We have a guest in the house that's going to be helping us out with those analyses this morning. I'm talking about Elder Eloka Okafor, Public Affairs Analyst. Good to have you in the house, Elder.
Good morning.
First, we want to ask you how your Easter celebration went, and
well, we thank
how
God.
you doing?
It went well, to the glory of God.
Lots of rice, chicken, and drinks. Some people don't really believe in the rice, chicken, and drinks.
I think those ones are for the kids.
Okay.
So what else for
the elder?
For the elders, I think it was more of reflection.
Reflection, yeah. Okay. And meetings. All right.
All right, good. Let's start with our very first story. Stories making the headlines on our ABS website.
Obiano comments ABS, the shores of launching station on DSTV platform. Today is World Book and Copyright Day. Enugu community launches Operation Clean and Healthy Enugu. Obiano urges couples to embrace Christian virtues in marriage. Orca community expresses confidence in traditional ruler Obi Gibson Mosu. All right, those are the stories making the headlines on ABS website this morning.
Let's quickly start with the very top story.
Of course.
It's amazing.
Of course, we are in
really
ABS,
amazing.
and then the governor is commending ABS.
Yeah, I will also join His Excellency to commend ABS. ABS has been a lot of transformation and improvement in your services.
Sure.
It's been wonderful. I think ABS should be among the best now within the Southeast, if not the best.
The best, yes.
Yeah.
We are proud of that.
It was amazing
All
yesterday.
thanks to
So I commend your
our
MD too.
governor, yeah.
You guys are doing a lot of great job.
Yeah, and I think the governor was actually specific yesterday because we had a dinner, what I call a lunch dinner with him yesterday in his country home, and he was specific about what the MD has done, and of course how ABS is also transformed and inspire people. I think it's something worth encouraging.
Yes, really.
All right, let's look at the second headline there. Today is World Book and Copyright Day, so we are commemorating that.
How are you doing that?
Yeah, it's part of our discussion today, yes.
Okay, it's interesting to get to know that today is World Book Day. Maybe it's still very early, so we don't really know the lineup of our activities today, but I expect maybe the academic environment to actually take the lead today. But having said that, I want also to get the government to really look into the direction of the readership within the state. It does appear that Anambra State doesn't seem to be a state so much interested about books. I don't know the number of bookshops we have in the state. We have a state library there, but I've been there for some time, actually last year. And I feel the governor should actually look also in that direction of the library, make the environment much conducive. Some of the times I visited that place, there was no electricity supply, and the environment wasn't so much conducive for reading. I must say that. And the main bowl where you actually do the reading, it doesn't have an AC there. I don't know whether it was deliberate or so. I think the state can actually look at that place and make it more comfortable for people to come over there and read. And I don't know, we don't seem to have any reading competitions in the state. In summary, I think the education ministry should actually find a way to get our young people, focused in the direction of reading and even writing. This cultism we are seeing manifesting before us, if we can redirect the energy of these young people towards reading, making it competitive, initiating so many, like during our own time, we used to have these essay competitions, writing competitions and all that. We can even begin short story competitions and get to encourage these youngsters, reward them. It may not be money, it could be recognition, it could be state award, it could even be scholarship. I think if we motivate the young ones back to, reading once again, and It will be nice.
All right, okay. Enugu community launches Operation Clean and Healthy Enugu.
I commend the Enugu people for that, and I want to encourage other communities within the state to actually key into that exercise. We are abusing our environment a lot. Within my area, we are battling with plastics, disused plastic bottles, plastic can, and all that. And even some drainage within Oka metropolis, you find out that there is this silting of the drainages by plastic bottles, disused plastic bottles, and all that, polythene bags, nylon bags, and all what have you. It will cement with the soil and clog the drainage. And now we are we're already in the rainy season. It will be nice if the PGs of communities can come out strong and they salvage the environment. It's a problem that even the Ministry of Environment has to, right? Get close and get more serious about it.
Let's quickly move with the rate at which divorce is actually taking center stage in marriages these days. Obiano urges couple to embrace Christian virtues in marriage.
Sorry, I have to sound this way. When we talk about Christianity and marriage institution, a lot of down here we assume that because we are not Muslims here, we are Christians. But are we actually Christians? That is the question. When you
go to church, we have Christians, we have traditionalists.
I mean we that claim to be Christians, are we actually Christians?
In the real sense.
In the real sense of Christianity.
Okay.
Because when you don't just classify somebody that goes to church a Christian. Even a witch can go to church.
Oh, wow.
So, if we establish that, we can begin to now look around why we have divorces in marriages. Christians know the teaching of Christ. We know the teaching of Christ concerning divorce, the conditions.
Okay, good. Let's run because I want to try our very first paper this morning, the Punch newspapers. A story is making the headline, the big story there. Exam malpractices. JAMB probes candidates' credentials from 2009 to 2019. 100 UTME candidates arrested. On top of that story, oil price hit 6 months high of $74. Your budget pardon allegation irresponsible, Saraki tells Tinubu. Army arrest 2, Zamfara traditional rulers kill 6 bandits. Appeal court hears Oyetola's appeal against Adeleke on Wednesday. Vital equipment shortage hits public teaching hospitals. Only 4 public cancer centers functioning. NMA. Gunmen kill 14 in Katsina, Benue. NSCDC official order linked after killing 9 boys, brigade members. World Bank loan portfolio in Nigeria now $8.67 billion. Well, big story. There have been rumors, I don't know, about the JAMB results, them cutting marks. And of course, the paper is saying JAMB probes candidate credentials from 2009 to 2019 and arrested some.
Honestly speaking, I'm not satisfied with the development around JAMB examinations. I was thinking that with the advent of ICT, that there would have been, for example, I'm surprised that JAMB is taking a whole 1 week to conduct the exams.
Let me pause you there because you're going to talk more about that. But let's quickly go for a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Diamond shared the dream to build more than just a bank, bringing the online revolution to Nigeria and becoming part of the networked society, helping to lift the country and continent out of recession to enrich its people too. Now, with our 2 banks fused together, we can help more move up a social ladder and help future generations make more of their lives, whoever and wherever they are. A new bond to help unleash the potential in every African who banks with us.
We're glad to have you back. It's still a press review, and of course, Elder Eloka is in the house. You're talking about the JAMB candidates and the Punch newspaper.
Yes, and I would have asked JAMB what happened with the old method of conducting JAMB exams, whereby the exam is actually held on the same day across the country, and after that, everybody forgets about everything about the exam. Now we have it spread over a week, and still we are still telling stories. So I don't understand. And the exam is even more expensive now. In fact, a friend of mine told me that she had to lodge in a hotel, around her center in order to meet the time schedule for her own, examinations. Extra cost.
We pray we actually get it right someday. Let's run for want of time. The next paper.
Daily Times. A banner headline says, Saraki tackles Tinubu over claim of hijacking 2018 budget. Describes Tinubu as spinning lies, fallacies, and untruths. Says ex-governor trying to extricate himself from National Assembly leadership quagmire. Up there we have presidency fumes over Catholic bishop's comment on Northeast. Says Northeast better off under Buhari. Corruption, don't judge us by conviction figure, federal government. Again, article PDP tell tribunal to disqualify Buhari. Police confirms 11 people killed in Gombe Easter accident. How Dangote refinery will drive world crude oil refining capacity, OPEC. The big story, Saraki tackling Tinubu over claims of hijacking 2018 budget.
That Saraki Tinubu stuff, I don't have interest in whatever they are talking about. As far as I'm concerned, both of them has failed this country. Both Tinubu and Saraki. Okay. They are all part of the problem the common man suffers in the country. Why are they taking us back to 2018 budget and all stuff? Tinubu has his own interest in National Assembly, which Saraki, whittled down some of his influences, and he has not been happy. He has never been happy with Saraki. So they shouldn't entertain us with their personal stuff.
Right. Let's quickly look at this corruption. Don't judge us by conviction.
Conviction figure, federal government.
Of course, because everybody has been talking about you're fighting corruption, you're not, who are you arresting, who are you convicting? And
personally, I'm not interested in figures, number of commissions they have. I'm more, concerned about the one-sidedness of the fight against corruption. They can convict one person in 5 years. I'm not interested in that. But as long as the fight against corruption is not one-sided, it's fair, I think I'll be more satisfied, to me, because it's a marathon race. If they succeed in convicting only 5% under this regime, subsequent ones can take it forward, maybe to 10%. But the important thing should be that there is genuine and committed fight against corruption in Nigeria.
Not
one-sided. That is my takeaway.
All right, the next paper is the Guardian newspaper. A better headline says, investors shun bank shares despite 720 billion naira profit. Zenith, GTB, UBA orders undervalued. Operators seek new policies to spur market. Security officers kill 10 Christian youth celebrating Easter in Gombe. Government imposes curfew as government kill 5 in Benue State. Saraki urges Tinubu to substantiate claims on budget padding and delay. 24 persons arrested as death toll rises to 390 in Sri Lanka attack. Notre Dame reignites loss of world's great Nigerians disappearing monuments. All right, let's look at this one. Security officers kill 10 Christian youths that are celebrating Easter in Gombe.
Actually, I'm alarmed by the extent of killing, especially within this short festive period.
Exactly. And
Sri
the one
Lanka,
at Benue too.
Benue, Gombe, even Zamfara is still on, and all that. I would have wished that people like Tinubu and Saraki would have concentrated their attention, on these killings. Concentrate their comments on these killings instead of, regaling us with budget padding and all that. As if these people being killed are not humans. These are human beings, for Christ's sake. Have life become so cheap in Nigeria? I'm worried. Back a little, the other newspaper talked about the Dangote refinery. I'm so much impressed about the development within that refinery, and it goes to show us that with the private hands, when the private sector comes into whatever sector in Nigeria that seems so impossible to, so difficult, that a lot of achievements could actually be seen.
When it's privatized.
Within a short, the point I'm making is that within a short span, Dangote has been able to set up a refinery, brand new refinery from the scratch to finish, excuse me, of about 650,000 barrels per day. And by the time it comes up on stream, maybe by next year, Nigeria would have done with these perennial fuel crises that we normally have, and the stories that we cannot refine fuel here in Nigeria, and that our fuel has to refine abroad, and the byproducts.
It's good to know that, but I keep asking, why now, after all these years? Because we have people who would have people probably who are richer than Dangote that would have, gotten this refinery.
Yes, but it still goes down to our policy managers and planners. You have to create this environment and the confidence to investors before they can actually. The refinery is not a tea party. Building a refinery is not a tea party. A lot of huge amount of work, capital, borrowing, financing, and all that are involved.
All right.
So the investors will have to be sure that you are serious with your country before they can throw in their money.
All right, let's quickly move to the last paper, Daily Independent. Stories making the headlines. The big story there, Saraki to Tinubu, stop spreading lies, says he's ignorant of parliamentary procedures. Ask Tinubu to leave him out of his 2023 schemes. Contends he's upset, interference in ninth NAS failing. Let Baja run on his record. Rep Bago tells Tinubu. Laments Southwest is being doubly rewarded. INEC presiding officers claim results were transmitted electronically. Jamba arrest candidates who registered for UTME 64 times. Lagos, Rivers, Ogun, Delta lead in 1.176 trillion states IGR. 20 killed in Gombe, Benue, Ogun. Deputy Governor Khan chairman urge CAM in Gombe. Militia raises houses. Government imposes curfew on Benue LGA. Bosses burnt in Ogun. Police arrest 25. Federal government should punish employers who fail to pay 30,000 naira minimum wage. Balarabi Musa. Banditry troops kill 6. Nab village had 17 others in Zamfara. Well, I don't know. Quickly, let's just move to which would you want?
Yeah, I think the federal government should punish employers who fail to pay 30,000 naira minimum wage.
Is that really,
are you supporting that?
I wouldn't know the rationale for that statement. You have given the minimum wage, allow the employers to, take their time and begin to pay their workers. I know it's going to take some time. So you don't impose. You have established the minimum. So you don't impose it, even though it would be nice for employers of labor to pay their workers that amount. But Nigeria now, so it will have to take some time.
Quickly, Jamba arrest candidates who registered for UTME 64.
I'm interested in the INEC stuff. Some of the INEC
presiding officer claimed results were transmitted electronically.
Yes, it's an interesting development, and the development around the presidential tribunal is becoming very interesting. And I will urge every Nigerian to actually pay attention to what is happening, the developments there. INEC told us by their chairman, Pump and Play, that they did not transmit results electronically. But before then, we were told pre-election that those results are going to be transmitted.
All right.
And the money, as we are meant to understand, we are budgeted for such, and even trainings. For instance, those officers actually said they underwent training on how to transmit those results electronically.
Well, I think, of course, we can go on and on, but
so it's an interesting development.
We'll probably have to call it a day.
They're talking from the two sides of their mouth. We did not transmit electronically. Now we transmitted electronically.
All right. Thank you very much, Elder Elokoka, for public affairs analyst. Thank you for helping us on the papers preview this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we're not going. We're still here. It's Good Morning Anambra. We'll just go for a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.